Hey guys, so welcome back to another one of my videos. I know I haven't posted in a couple weeks, but I'm trying to get more better with posting. I know I said that I was gonna do a Genshin Impact video soon, that I was gonna upload and edit to my channel of not to my channel, but my TikTok account of C Lolly, and I did. I have been seeing that my latest video has been going sort of viral. But today I am here to talk about more Genshin. So, like I posted on my posts, I said that I was going to be doing a new Genshin Impact video soon. But I've been struggling to come up with the concept for a video because, like I said, I can't use my personal account because there are chances of hackers, and even editing the UDI code and blurring it out could still allow hackers to remove some edited parts from the video. And I just don't feel safe with, exposing my UDI code for my Genshin Impact account. Even if I did censor it and post it, still, there are ways to uncensor it. And it's very, dangerous and not the best option to, post that stuff online, especially because of the fact that, nowadays people are using AI and technology is getting more advanced, and with more advanced technology comes more risks of danger. So, today's video about Genshin Impact is going to be talking about sheznya and its new characters and stuff. So we already know that in 7.0, which is August 12th, the release of sheznya, we already know that Odette, one of the new characters for sheznya, is going to be releasing. She's going to be in Phase 1 of 7.0. And she's also going to be coming out with, there's also going to be a new 4-star character coming out, also with her banner. As for the other banner in 7.0 Phase 1, people are theorizing that it's going to be Arlecchino or basically or someone else, probably Arlecchino. That's like basically what everyone's theorizing. As for Phase 2, people are theorizing that it's going to be Flynn's and Farina, or Flynn's and Anefa. Or wait, no. For Phase 2, people are theorizing that it's going to be Anefa and Flynn's, or Anefa and Farina. As for my opinions about what I think for Phase 2, I don't really know. I just go by what the internet thinks and whatever. For Phase 1, it's confirmed to be Odette for 7.0. For the other banner, my guess is that it probably is going to be Arlecchino. Or, in my honest opinion, if it's not Arlecchino, then it's probably most likely going to be a Nodcry character. Because if you think about it, if Phase 2 is going to be Nodcry characters, it's probably most likely is going to be enough on Flynn's. But back to Phase 1, the other banner. So running along with Odette, I think that it's probably most likely not going to be Arlecchino. In my opinion, I think it's probably going to be like Mualani, because, hear me out, I have been seeing some theories and some banner, like, conspiracies and whatever about how some people are thinking that it's going to be Mualani in 7.1. Now, I know that's 7.1, but if you think about it, they're bringing back some old characters from recent regions, sorta, like Natlan and Nodcry, because Phase 2 is definitely I think it's confirmed to be Anefa. It's just, as for the other banner, it's either going to be Farina or Flynn's. Probably most likely Flynn's if they're going to do Nodcry characters like Anefa. As for like I said, Phase 1, I think the other banner is probably not going to be Arlecchino. It might be Mualani. I don't know, but we'll have to see. For 7.1 banners, my guess is that it's probably most likely going to be... Oh wait, it's already confirmed. Okay, so basically it's probably confirmed. I think it is. So in 7.1, phase 1, it's gonna be the new girlies, which I'm gonna get to in a second. So I was gonna talk about in this video my theories and all that about sheznya and sheznya characters and who I'm pulling for. One of the new girlies that is gonna be coming out with sheznya is this girly. I don't know how to pronounce most of the sheznya names, so bear with me. I say that she's kind of like Nilu x Columbina, because the fact that they kind of both have like because like they're both hydro and she gives off hydro vibe. I mean like Columbina vibes a lot, but she's also seeming like kind of like a little dancey like Nilu, like a ballerina. I mean, she wasn't a giant like seashell in an opera in the sheznya trailer. My opinion for the other girly, Veshna, I think is how you pronounce it. The girl in charge of the Drushna. This girly, they're both 7.1 phase 1 banners, which is kind of frustrating because I want to pull for both of them. I'm currently in the midst of saving primos right now because I just got 2 5-stars, and I honestly don't want to keep pulling right now because I am dealing with building 2 5-stars right now. So I'm saving, but I want to try to get both girlies, but I'm probably not going to be able to. I do not really have any signature weapons or any 5-star weapons. I have 2 5-star weapons, one of them being a catalyst, the other one being a claymore, but that's like it. So depending on what their weapons look like, I might see if I can save enough to go for one of the girlies and their weapons. Or probably see if I can go for both of them. But as for the weapons, probably not. I mean, I might be able to because the fact that my weapon banner pity is like 41, 42. The last and final girly that I want to talk about is the one that the internet is like hating on a lot because of the fact that her skirt isn't like floor length. And it's kind of even, like I talked about in the previous video, this girly. I honestly do not hate her design. It's very good, very cute. I love it. So, Hydro Columbina Nilu girly, I'm not going to try to pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try. She is a catalyst, Hydro, obviously, because in the trailer you can see her vision. For Veshna, I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, I don't know how to pronounce any of these names, and I'm not going to learn how to pronounce these names right now. I think she's a sword user. I'm pretty sure she is. Now, it's not confirmed that she's a sword user. I'm pretty sure she is. The thing that doesn't give away the fact that she's a sword user is the thing that she's holding in the trailer. That's not her weapon. That's a baton to control the Drushna. So it's definitely not her weapon. So I think it is going to be a sword because she looks like she's would be a sword user, and I think it's confirmed that she's a sword user. But yeah. So that's basically all 3 girlies that I'm pulling for, and that's it. Now, some other things I want to talk about is, in 7.2, for 7.2 banners, well, actually, before I get into 7.2 banners, that's for phase 1. As for phase 2, it's going to be Linnea and Zubai. I was thinking from what I've seen on the internet that from a couple videos that it was going to be the Inazuma Chronicle Wish banner or and the Leeway one, but like different faces obviously. I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think they're going to bring back the Chronicle Wish banners right now because we literally just had one. Not only that, they're trying to introduce design characters and stuff. But for 7.2, for Phase 1, I'm thinking that if it's not Mualani coming in Phase 1 of 7.0 or Phase 2, it's Mualani's probably going to come back in like 7.2, either Phase 1 or Phase 2. I've also been people saying that's probably going to be like Nikita and Kanich and like whatever. I think it's probably going to be Mualani that's coming back for Phase 1 along with Nikita if those characters are coming back. And then for Phase 2 of 7.0, it's probably going to be Kanich and a new SNES9 character. Now, for 7.3, it is going to be the Shariza. I don't know what I'm thinking for like Phase 2 of 7.3, but 7.3 is supposed to introduce the Cryo Archon. I think that like for Phase 2 or in the other banner other than the Shariza in Phase 1 is probably gonna be Nova is how you pronounce it, I think. I don't know. I know that she's a Heavenly Principal, and I know Heavenly Principals aren't like playable characters, and I know they might not get a chance to become playable, but they might. Because I know Google isn't always correct, and this probably isn't confirmed, but Google said that she was going to become a playable character. Google's not always right. I know that. But think about it. Novia was literally in the SNES9 trailer with the Shariza. She not only that, but she also literally, seemed like she was important. But she's also going to be working with the Shariza apparently, which is why she's in SNES9. Now, if she does become a playable character, she's probably going to become like a Phase 2 or Phase 1 of 7.3, or maybe at a later point during the SNES9 part, because no one is talking about or theorizing how Novia is going to become a playable, Renova is probably going to become a playable character. I think she is, because if she's in the SNES9 trailer and she has all these and she's going to be part of SNES9, she's obviously going to become a playable character. Now, it's not delusions or anything, but that's just my opinion of how I think, it's going to go, because the fact, if she's going to be introduced in SNES9, she has to become playable. And she doesn't have to, but I think that she is. Now, she could introduce a new element. But if they were to do new elements, they'd probably wait till 8.0, which if they were gonna do Heavenly Principles, it'd probably not be till later. Probably not until after SNES9, after Genshin Impact is done, even though it's not gonna be done. But I think that they're probably gonna, before anything else happens with Genshin, because we're in the last region, I think before Genshin moves on, I think that maybe they're gonna have one of the Heavenly Principles become playable, because if you really think about it, really think about it, why would she not become a playable character? Because if you really think about it, what would Genshin do before moving on to the very last region, or even after that? What are they gonna do after? They're gonna have to introduce some new characters, or even make it bigger and expand. So what does Genshin do? What does MiHoYo do before, a whole new thing, they make one of the heavenly principles playable. Think about that. Just think about it. Because it's not like they're just going to go on with Sheznya without Renova becoming a playable character. Because if they introduce each of the heavenly principles after Sheznya, it's going to be kind of boring. But if they introduce one of the heavenly principles as a playable character before the next part of Genshin Impact, which could be whatever, then that will raise some excitement and boost the levels even more. That is what MiHoYo's gonna do. Because it makes sense. Because if you really think about it, because right now people are going crazy over Sheznya, and people are theorizing about, the next banner phases and 7.1 banner phases, but no one's talking about 7.2 or 7.3. The only thing that people are talking about in 7.3 is the Saritsa. But then what about after that? Or what about in 7.2? If Renova and one of the heavenly principles is gonna become playable, Sheznya, it's probably gonna be 7.5 and 7.5, probably phase 2, because I feel like they would wait a couple points before introducing one of a few highly anticipated characters that have been out since the beginning of the game. Well, technically seen, but yeah. And it's probably going to be phase 2, because they're just probably just going to highly anticipate it even more, because if they give us everything that we want all at once, by the time Shenzhen is done, we're going to be done with it. We're not going to feel anymore. That's why, like, they got to do it slowly. That's why they got to highly anticipate. Because otherwise, if everything comes out at once, it's just like 2 days later, boring, done, over with, introduce the next thing. So, yeah. But that's it for today's video. Tune in for my next video, which could be whenever. And, I will think of more ways and more videos to come up with for Genshin Impact. Make sure you guys like this video. And, yeah. But I might possibly do a Sheznya video, probably most likely soon. Or probably do, I don't know, probably like, more edits on my TikTok. As for the channel, I don't really know. But yeah. Unfortunately, on August 12th, I won't be able to download Sheznya because I will be busy doing some other stuff. So, bye.